All right, let's get right into it. When you think about the future of energy, your mind probably jumps straight to better batteries, right? But what if I told you the next huge leap forward in battery tech isn't what we think it is at all? I mean, seriously, take a second. What's the very first thing that pops into your head when you hear the word battery? For pretty much all of us, it's something that stores and spits out electrical energy. You know, the juice for our phones, our cars, our laptops. But that's only one side of the coin. What if by focusing only on electricity, we're missing this massive, massive piece of the energy puzzle? Well, get this. A staggering 50% of all global energy is used just to create heat. Yep, heat for making steel, for chemical processes, for basically every single man-made product you can possibly imagine. So, what if we could just store that energy directly as heat? And that's exactly where a totally different kind of battery enters the picture, the thermal battery. This is a technology designed to tackle that other 50% of the whole energy equation. So, what is this thing really? Well, to put it simply, a thermal battery stores energy by heating up a material, like molten salt, to incredibly high temperatures. Honestly, just think of it like a giant, super high-tech kettle. You use cheap, renewable energy to get the salt scorching hot, and then you can just tap into that heat whenever you need it, with up to 90% efficiency. So how do these thermal batteries really stack up against the lithium-ion batteries that we all know and love? Well, lithium-ion is pretty complicated. It relies on scarce stuff like cobalt and lithium. Thermal batteries, on the other hand, are way simpler, more robust, and they're built from materials that are everywhere, like salt. And that means they have a much lower overall cost of storage. That's basically the total price tag to store and then release one bit of energy, which makes them perfect for their main job, pumping out industrial-scale heat. And please, don't mistake simple for unproven. This tech is already trusted in some of the most intense, high-stakes environments you can think of, both on and off this planet. We're talking military munitions, aerospace systems, and deep well drilling equipment, places where failure is just not an option. But for these batteries to really go mainstream, they have to defeat one tiny microscopic villain. And this problem, it's a famous one in the field. It's called the shuttle effect. And it's the main reason these powerful batteries have a bad habit of losing their charge-holding ability over time. So what in the world is going on inside these things? Well, some of the key chemical components, they start to dissolve. And once they're loose, they literally shuttle back and forth from one end of the battery to the other. This little trip causes a permanent loss of the good stuff, the active material, which leads to decay and a serious drop in efficiency. This diagram kind of shows the chaos inside. See, right in the middle, you've got the core parts, the anode, the cathode, and that separator in between. The shuttle effect is what happens when those pesky dissolved particles start leaking right across that central separator. And all these diagrams around the outside, those show the different clever ways scientists are trying to block that leak. They're basically trying to build a molecular customs checkpoint that only lets the right stuff through. And that's exactly what scientists are focused on right now. They are tackling this problem head on. So let's check out two really brilliant approaches from teams in China and the US that took completely different routes to solve the very same problem. Okay, so the first solution is just incredibly elegant. A team from the Chinese Academy of Sciences created this special coating. It's a material made of self-assembling molecules that click together into a perfect structure. This stuff forms a tiny porous shell around the key battery particles. It's like a microscopic bouncer at a club door. It lets the helpful ions pass right through, but physically blocks the bigger, troublemaking ones that cause the shuttle effect. Just brilliant. Meanwhile, over in the US, an Army research team took a much more, well, physical approach. Instead of building a filter, they decided to completely remake the materials themselves. On the left, you see the standard, bigger particles. But on the right, after they blasted them with a process called high-energy milling, you get these brand new, teeny tiny nano-structured particles. I mean, just look at the difference in scale there. Their thinking was pretty straightforward. If they could physically shrink the core materials way down to the nanoscale, they could fundamentally change how they behave. The hope was to boost the battery's performance, speed up the reactions, and cram more power into the same space. But what they found out was way more nuanced and, honestly, way more interesting than just smaller is better. Turns out the results were completely dependent on the temperature. Okay, so first up, extreme cold. We are talking minus 45 degrees Fahrenheit. In these conditions, the nanomaterial battery was the undisputed champion. It had higher voltage, better performance, a huge win for any application that has to survive in a seriously harsh, cold place. But here is the wild part. When they cranked up the heat all the way to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, the opposite happened. The original, bigger, standard material actually performed better. The fancy new nano battery just couldn't hang. And that brings us to the real takeaway here. The research showed that there is no single best version of this battery. The future isn't about finding one ultimate, one-size-fits-all design. It's about tailoring the technology, engineering the perfect battery for a very specific job and a very specific environment. Which brings us all the way back to the beginning, to the big picture. And this quote just says it all. The energy transition's best-kept secret is that half the energy needed in the world is used to make heat. We spend so much time talking about electricity, but this is a massive, overlooked opportunity for a completely new kind of energy storage. So it leaves us with a pretty cool question to chew on, doesn't it? As we're racing toward a clean energy future, maybe the most important innovation won't be in the batteries that power our Teslas, but in the ones that can efficiently and cleanly heat our entire industrial world.